on the couch, there was nothing on the telly. Then I got to thinking, man, life is kinda smelly. What if we are trapped inside of a simulation? This whole world's just a damned abstraction. What if this whole life was built upon a bunch of code that all went horribly wrong? As if life's programmers got together in a room and She-Ra pointed the way to our doom. Adding idiotic things like React and Vite, as if extra steps to JS would make things alright. AI morons everywhere, no awareness anywhere. Rust, great, install the thing. STDs to us all bring memory safety won't save coders who aren't brave. Tailwind saves you CSS, so your brain you use less. What if life were like this too? Abstractions ruining all we do. Thinking about this really hard, must be real. A simulated world of poor code, I appeal. Ain't no way we live in peak branch prediction. Not with coders found guilty of coding dereliction, whose code brings nothing but performance malediction. When AI safety guardrails eases the seduction. What happened to the world of bits? Each one crying tears in pits. Just before the CPU scoops all them up and turns them into bugs, a grand hardware flop. AI morons everywhere, no awareness anywhere. Rust, crate, install the thing. STDs to us all bring memory safety won't save coders who aren't brave. Tailwind saves you CSS, so your brain you use less. What if life were like this too? Abstractions ruining all we do. Here's a hint, it's not your lint or your TypeScript hint or bloated Git. Bit by bit, it's all your fault. Everything seg faults, it's your code, you fool. You're just a tool. Grow some balls, stop taking falls. Your code appalls, performance lulls. Bugs they brawl, PRs recalled. Security issues in your brain are small. Wish you stood tall behind that goal. Heed the coder's call.
Here. I think I'm ready. My article's all set up? Yeah, they are. Okay. First of all, Lawler, congratulations. Happy birthday, man. W's in chat for Lawler. On the Twitch side. He's got a birthday today. What's up, Adaraz? Good to see you, man. What's up, Shreyas? Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in on all the different platforms. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone being here. It's Lawler's birthday. Lawler's Shreyas. Lolleer. Jeez. Can't even spell today. I need more coffee is what I need. Yeah, congratulations, Lawler. That's really awesome. Happy birthday. I won't ask you how old you are, but everyone knows how old I am. And it's the, let's say it together now, ripe old age of 41. You're 26? Oh, you're your baby. Is it even legal for you to be on the internet? Old age of 69. You're 26 too, Adder? Oh, geez, you guys are babies. What the hell? Where are your parents? Kids these days. They have no parental supervision anymore. You're 26 too? Well, so, okay, I guess I might as well join the club. I'm also 26. I'm 26 as well. I guess we're all 26 today. Yeah. Time travel. 26 club, yeah. Oh, I wish. I wish I could be 26. The one piece of advice I would give to myself at 26, if it matters to anyone who might actually be 26, the energy you have does not last forever. You don't take it for granted. And don't use React. That's right, Shreyas. Don't use React. Or AI. Advice for 26. That's solid. I like that. What do you mean I have no energy? I react not even once. Not even once. Not even once. AI is kind of not bad. Not sure about AI, but don't use React. I'm glad I finally converted you over to the anti-React side. I knew time would prove me right. You're safe from React? Good, Lawler. Good. That's good. AI is like it has a few scenarios where it's fine, but most of the time AI is just terrible. Just don't do it. Just don't do that. It's a gateway drug. Okay. Yeah, it's useful sometimes, but it can screw up terribly. Yeah, that's right. Let me let's get the news started, shall we, folks? Let's get the news started. You're in the co-pilot gang. Unhappy birthday to you, Lawler. I take all the happy birthdays away. Remove them. So let's get started. Let's get into it. I'm gonna switch my camera if OBS would participate in this endeavor. Let's see. There we go. Okay. It was just me. That was my fault. So, on a previous Daily Tech News stream, I went over an article. It was a little bit of a research article. I believe it was last week. And the research showed that AIs like to hallucinate packages when you ask them to generate code. So not only will LLMs generate very secure code, very insecure code. I got to be careful what I say so you don't clip it, damn it. Insecure code, they'll generate them, or just like no security at all. You ask it to build you something basic, there's no security in it. There's not even basic checks on things. So not only that, but it will hallucinate package names that it thinks should exist in order to generate the whatever it is that you're trying to generate. So as you can see on the article, this is ripe for what they call slop squatting. And what happens is hackers will not hackers, but people who are, of unethical nature will try and prompt their way through these hallucinated packages and come up with actual packages that they create in order to ensure that people who use similar prompts to create similar applications end up with the same kind of package, but it's now been injected with something real, and the real package contains, of course, security issues, right? So we covered that already, and you can see the term slop squatting here on this article. I won't go over this article again. I just wanted to kind of come up with a different term because, as gamers, there's a thing called base camping, right? Where or spawn camping, where you essentially wait for a user to spawn at their spawn location and you just immediately take them out. So I'm going to call it slop camping. That's what I like to call it. There is also typo camping. In this particular article, they talk about typo squatting, which is a misspelling created by the LLM. where it kind of got close to a real package, but it didn't. So typo camping and slop camping. That's the new term. I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to spread it everywhere. I will penetrate the internet over and over and over again with slop camping. And we're going to take slop camping, the term, to its full climax. Okay? Full climax. All right, so I just wanted to bring that up. By the way, I think you guys will like this one. Before I depress you, how about I send do something happy and then depress you and then leave you depressed. I just want you to read the title on this. Oh God. AI shopping app was just people in the Philippines. Oh, jeez. The founder of the shopping app, Nate, has been charged with fraud after telling investors it used AI when it was actually run by workers in the Philippines. Oh, what's up, Ghost on Twitch? What's up, Battle? Good to see you guys. Can you share the link? Sure. Here. There you go. Gonna spam it just to make sure. Adam Saniger, 35, faces years in prison if found guilty of lying about Nate's use of in-house artificial intelligence when in reality the app was operated by hundreds of call center workers. I just can't, man. I just can't. The Amazon did it before? Yeah. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. I can't. I've read this already and it's difficult for me to keep a straight face. All right. You got to read the story. Prosecutors allege that Saniger took steps to conceal the true nature of the manual work from investors and most employees, instructing those who were aware not to discuss it. He also required contractors on the manual teams to remove any mention of Nate from their social media profiles. Further, to prevent investors from becoming suspicious about the existence or quality of Nate's technology, Saniger directed the contractors in the Philippines to prioritize transactions made through the app by investors and prospective investors. What's up, Laughly? Good to see you, man. What's up, Vamp on YouTube? I see you, bro. How you doing? That's something. That's something. So I thought that was funny. I thought I'd bring that one up because it's kind of funny. And unfortunately, he's going to serve some jail time, or fortunately, depending on your perspective. I mean, come on. I don't know. All right. Should we get into some hacks? Let's get into some hacks. All right. Let's depress you all. Wolters Kluwer, I am not pronouncing that correctly. I'm certain of that. Allegedly hit by data breach, threatening Fortune 500 firms. Hackers are claiming they've cracked open the vault of Wolters Kluwer, the $7 billion financial software titan serving Fortune 500 companies. A threat actor has popped up on a popular cybercrime forum, offering what they claim is a fresh data set ripped from Dutch financial software heavyweight Wolters Kluwer. The company pulls in nearly $7 billion annually and serves a significant chunk of U.S. accounting firms, banks, and Fortune 500 companies. Its reach spans just about every high-stakes industry. Some of the company's clients include British Airways, Emirates, American Airline, Boeing, Rolls-Royce, and BP. The dataset ranges between 3 gigs and 6 gigs in size. While the dump does not contain passwords, security research at Cybernews says the leak is far from harmless. And the reason why the leak is far from harmless is probably because it contains some personally identifiable information. So once more, you can see the consequences of, or the potential consequences of these kinds of hacks. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't go into how how they got access to this data, but what you can see is that if you have access to this kind of data, you now have access to potentially a jumping point of many other dangerous aspects of people's lives. It can serve as a gateway to that. So it's not a small thing. It might seem small in terms of maybe I don't know, maybe the type of data. A sample of the alleged leak shows full names, emails, phone numbers, home addresses, job and university info, and even social media accounts and tokens. Fine, so maybe you don't have a password to access people's accounts, but you can absolutely use this as a jumping off point into other areas of life. So not the greatest thing. Not the greatest. Breach of American aircraft parts maker leaves thousands exposed. Boys, do you... you know how in the news the last, like, I want to say 4 months have been, there has been a rise in the reporting of airplane crashes, of aircraft crashes. I'm just gonna let that stew out there for a second. Mercury Corp, a U.S. headquartered manufacturing company, had attackers breach its hull to take personal details, including driver's license and social security numbers. The attackers broke through the company's defenses in mid-Feb this year, Mercury Corp announced via a breach notification letter sent to potentially impacted individuals. They didn't roam the firm's system for long, the letter reads, spending only around 1 day inside. I mean, that's really all you need. However, the visit wasn't merely a joyride. The unauthorized access exposed personal details. According to the company's letter, the attackers got their hands on names, addresses, dates of birth, driver's licenses, and social security numbers. Co-pilot, take the yoke, yeah. 3,000 individuals were exposed during the attack. And, of course, there's all kinds of ways you can use this information, and they go into that. And they cannot confirm if any personal information may have been accessed or exfiltrated as a result of the incident. I would argue that even if there is no personal information that was taken out of these, there's enough information. Yeah, wait. Is this contradictory? I'm just noticing this. I read this earlier and I didn't notice it. However, Mercury Corp's letter claims that the incident investigation did not confirm what, if any, personal information may have been accessed or exfiltrated as a result of the incident. That's weird. So then why on earth do they send out a company letter saying this is completely personal information? Oh, it's 100%. I don't know. That's weird. That's weird. Maybe the article writer is not getting this correctly. In any case, even if it's not personal information, let's assume the article is wrong and it's just information, like employee information, then it's still dangerous, right? And part of the reason why this is dangerous is currently the company lists IBM, Lockheed Martin, USPS, Kodak, and other companies among its partners. Still, right? That's dangerous because now you have access to a variety of different aspects of things that could be dangerous. Banks do SMS two-factor authentication. Oh yeah, you could do like a SIM swap. Yeah, there's all kinds of things you could do with this. So one way or another, even if this article wrote the details wrong, this is like a bad set of information to get out there. And you can, at the very least, you could identify people who might have access to other companies like this in some form or another, and then use that to just further your reach, right? So anyway, be careful out there next time you take a plane. On that lovely note, Western Sydney University discloses security breaches data leak. Western Sydney University announced 2 security incidents that exposed personal information belonging to members of its community. It's a prominent Australian institution offering various undergrad, postgrad, and research programs across multiple disciplines. It serves a student body of 47,000 and employs over 4,500 permanent and seasonal staff with an annual budget of 600 mil. Now, something happened with their single sign-on system between January and February 2025. And so whoever breached it got access to demographic, enrollment, and progression information for approximately 10,000 current and former students. Now, they had a second cybersecurity incident because one wasn't enough. And they saw a leak of personal information belonging to members of the community as a leak on the dark web. Now, even though this data was published on November 1st, 2024, the university only knew of it March 24th. The information, some of the information that was included: names, contact details, dates of birth, health info, government IDs, and bank account information. 580 terabytes of data. That is huge. And this information is definitely dangerous. That's insane. So, I don't know if anyone's in Australia. I doubt it, because Australia is not a real place. But please be careful. Hang on, wait. It says they had access to that much data, that not how much they stole. True. Okay, so Laughfully on Twitch is right. It does not necessarily say that they stole 580 terabytes of data, but they at least had access to it. And who knows how much of it they got, I suppose, but yeah. Central European country, I live close, yeah. So this one was particularly egregious, in my opinion. That was, I mean, that's a lot of dangerous information to walk away with, right? So again, be careful out there. Fortinet. This one I thought was a little bit funny. Not too funny, but a little bit funny. Hackers retain access to patched FortiGate VPNs using symlinks. So essentially what happened is Fortinet had some VPN devices that were compromised. And then they clamped it down. They fixed the vulnerability, and you can see the vulnerabilities they had here. And even though they fixed the vulnerabilities, they're like, wait, why are people still accessing our VPN devices unauthorized? And the reason why is because the people who initially used these initial vulnerabilities left symlinks, which allowed them to have read-only access to the VPN devices after everything was patched, and they didn't realize this. A symbolic link connecting to the user file system and the root file system in a folder used to serve language files for the SSL VPN. This modification took place in the user file system and avoided detection. And so as a result, they could have read-only access to files on the device's file system, which may include configurations, which then just lets you further continually hack. That's actually kind of smart. That's not so bad. That's kind of smart. That's kind of smart. Now, what's not so funny is the fact that these attacks go back to early 2023, which means that they've been around for a while. They didn't get clamped down for a while, and the symlinks have just continued to stay. So what kind of information has been retrieved from what would supposedly be secure SSL VPN connections or devices. I think these are devices, yeah. And you can imagine, if you just think about it for a second, you can imagine someone having an SSL VPN like device or just access to an SSL VPN gateway. And because they feel secure, because it's SSL VPN, they think I'm secure. I have like a lockdown network. I can kind of like take some risks here that aren't really, they don't feel risky anymore, right? You can see where that could lead. Next, U.S. lab testing provider exposed health data of 1.6 million people. Laboratory Services Cooperative has released a statement informing it suffered a data breach where hackers stole sensitive information of roughly 1.6 million people from its systems. LSC is a Seattle-based nonprofit organization that provides centralized laboratory services to its member affiliates, including select Planned Parenthood centers. It plays a crucial role within its niche, supporting organizations in the reproductive health services across more than 35 U.S. states, handling sensitive lab testing, billing, and personal data. So a breach occurred in October 2024, and they got access to some data. And then they accessed and removed certain files belonging to LSC. Now, personal identifiers, full name, social security number, driver's license or passport number, date of birth, and government issued IDs. It may include, right? It may. Okay, I just want to be clear that it may include one or more of these, right? Medical info, dates of service, diagnoses, treatments, lab results, provider, and facility details. Insurance info, plan type, insurer, member group ID numbers. Billing and financial data, claims, billing details, bank and payment card info. Look, even if it's like one person and you got like the medical information, that's not dangerous. Yeah, now they know who has problems with fertility. Yeah. Like even just a small portion, even just one piece of data from here for thousands of people across the states is a dangerous amount of information to have. The breach mainly affects individuals who had lab tests done through select Planned Parenthood centers that use the LSC for their testing. So they don't provide information on what the exact hack was, because I suppose they want to make sure that they keep security buttoned down. But I really wish I knew how on earth. I could imagine this would be like a I can just see this being something like an employee got socially engineered or something. I don't know. Freaking laughingly. Now they can strategically place peanuts to take people out with allergies. Put peanuts in the right places, the damage you could cause. Okay, I've got two more. IKEA. IKEA. So the next time you're putting together your IKEA furniture, just remember that someone has your information. Ransomware attack costs IKEA operator in Eastern Europe $23 million. Okay, so to be fair, this isn't all fully IKEA. It's like an operator of IKEA. Forlist Group. The operator of IKEA stores in a country I will not say publicly because that's where I'm from. And if I say it, then I feel like I'm somehow participating in the stupidity behind the attack. so I'm going to skip this country. Cyprus, Romania, and Bulgaria. Low tier countries. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Has informed that the ransomware attack it suffered just before Black Friday on November 27, 2024, caused losses estimated to 20 million euros or 22.8 million. The security incident became public on December 3rd, 2024, when the group admitted that the technical problems IKEA online shops were facing were due to malicious external action. Although the company also operates Intersport, Foot Locker, and Holland & Barrett shops in the said countries, the impact of the attack affected mainly IKEA business operations. Because if you're going to get information on people, you want to know what kind of furniture they're buying so that you can call them and make fun of them as they're frustrated trying to put the furniture together. This isn't really a hack. It's just so that you can call people up and laugh at them, laugh at their frustrations. So it caused some disruptions in their store, which is kind of how they noticed it, especially around Black Friday, when usually around Black Friday, e-commerce stores like kind of boost up their development practices, development tasks for the week, like the week before Black Friday. And what they do is like a battery of tests and whatnot, and scale the servers up so that they can like take on the traffic that they know is going to come on Black Friday. So probably everything was running fine, and then Black Friday comes along and there's some issues, and they're like, wait, like what the hell, right? And then they notice it. So apparently there was some ransomware involved. They didn't pay the ransomware. They restored the affected systems, and they were attacked several times afterwards. So, okay. Okay. Sure. So there was no evidence of data thefts or leaks linked to the incident. I don't know. I mean, it maybe there was and just nobody said anything, right? Who knows? But if that's true, then that's a good thing. But it did cost them a lot of money. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up. The losses don't come from data that was leaked. So let's assume for a moment that no data was leaked. Nobody got access to the data inside here. What it did cause are disruptions to the shopping cart system, which means that the company lost revenue that they could have otherwise made, or that normally they would make under normal circumstances if you look historically and maybe project it out like just a little bit, right? These things can like kill smaller companies. They can just absolutely destroy them. And a smaller company might just be a regular store that just like serves stuff that you care about in a local community, right? And so it doesn't actually take a full-on hack with an exposure of data or access to data. Sometimes it's enough to cause disruption to the point where a company can lose enough, let's say, money as a result of it through some form or another, and it can just completely tank them. So it can be destructive on its own, right? And that's a dangerous thing. Geez, I got chat everywhere. Maybe the security companies do these ransomwares. They win either way. Yeah. Greeks still owe us money. They shouldn't be buying IKEA furniture. It's true. It's true. We're deep in. My people are deep in debt. See you in 5, Shreyas. What's up, miss? Good to see you, man. Yeah, we're deep in debt. It's true. We almost caused I think we did. I think we caused a chain effect of global economic insecurity. That was a few years ago. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my people. Okay, the Spartans. Okay, last article for the day. I'll end it on a not so bad one. Because of our laziness. It's actually true. That's right, Ghost. Yeah. Microsoft says Edge browser is now 9% faster after optimizations. Now, what they did, they must have worked on the code. I read this a couple of times because I was trying to see if they talked about what kind of code updates they made, but they don't talk about it. However, they do talk about some of the what would you call it, progress that they've made as a result of refactoring Edge to some degree. There's a reason I want to talk about this briefly, not because I am particularly, I don't know, Edge is whatever, Edge is something, it's like it's fine. um it's more because of like the kinds of things that they worked on. So let me go down here. Startup is 2% faster. Page navigation is 1.7% faster. Okay. The there's a 5 to 7% improvement in how responsive pages feel. There's a 1.7% faster navigation times, 2% faster startup, 5 to 7. Okay, that's exactly what we went over. I shouldn't have read that. Duh. And then the tabs, no less than 14 different areas of the user interface throughout the browser are now 40% faster than before on average. So even things like downloads, drop, history, and the in-private new tab experience got faster. Favorites, browser essentials got faster. Okay. Why did I want to bring this up? Just to kind of round off the stream. If there's been a pushback on me since pretty much since I started streaming from a variety of different people, including Shreyas, and who has since changed his tune. We've won him over to the dark side, so to speak. So myself and others have been saying for a while that we need to focus more on performance and security, and that those things will lead to money, essentially. And a lot of people would go, no, you don't. Everything's fine. Everything's fast, like fast enough. That's usually the argument. Everything's fast enough. You don't need to make things faster. And we have good hardware, and we don't need to spend all our time focusing on like micro optimizations and blah, 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 blah. Now, I called it and I said that's not true, and that it actually does pay to focus on performance and reliability and security. And a big company like Microsoft spending who knows how much time making a browser that's definitely not the top browser being used these days to get a 9% overall speed beast, that tells you something. They thought it was worth putting this effort into it. So I think it's the days where people start to realize that not spending time the last 5 to 10 years on performance and security and reliability and doing cookie cutter websites and writing everything in Electron for desktop apps and all the stupid crap we've been doing, all the libraries and obfuscations that we've been doing. I think the time is fast approaching when those arguments are going to start to falter. And even companies like Microsoft are going to be spending more time making the stuff they've already shipped faster. That's a prediction of mine. I have no actual proof to base this on, but I would like to see companies like Microsoft and Microsoft do more of this kind of thing. We need it. We need more of this. And if big companies focus on things like this, then other people will follow, and we'll start going back to what made software and websites good. Just putting that out there as we need to be doing more of this. Lawler's right. Lawler, you're right. They have to do this, because if they don't do this, as soon as they put their AI system into Windows, it's going to be really slow. So they have to make everything else fast to make room for AI. You're so right. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, frickin' hell. Oh, man. That actually hurts my brain. How true that might be. That actually hurts my brain. How true that might be. Damn it, Lawler. You just have to ruin everything, don't you? Yeah, plus 49%, minus 200. Yeah. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. Okay. That's it. That's all I got today, folks. That's the daily tech news for the day. Um, classic Microsoft behavior. Jeez. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get out of here. I've got stuff to do today. I appreciate everyone who was here today and watching. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching on all the different platforms. I appreciate it. Make sure that you play the stupid algorithm game that I hate. If you want me to keep doing more of these and talking to more people and expanding my reach and hopefully encouraging the industry as much as I can to change its ways. If you want me to do that, you have to help me out, please. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the repost on X or reshare, whatever it is. Just whatever those free interactions are, they help me out. It's not about money. I'm not asking for money, but the algorithm stuff. It's just the easiest way for you guys to help me out, and you have been. I have like 16,000 plus followers on YouTube, or subscribers, whatever you call them, and that growth has been insane. And obviously, it's because you guys are helping. So I appreciate it. But ultimately, I'll keep doing more of this, and I'll keep arguing with people online and trying to come up with the logical arguments for things we should and should not be doing in the industry, and empowering you guys with information and knowledge that hopefully you can use to make the changes that you want to see in your corner of the world as well. So I'll keep doing it as long as you guys want me to keep doing it. Okay. I am out of here. Yeah, sellout confirmed. Shut up, Shreyas. I'm a sellout. I'm a huge sellout. That's it. I'm out of here. Guys, stay safe out there, please. Okay. It's dangerous. Who knows whether someone has information related to your peanut allergy or not. Okay. So just be careful. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for the next Daily Tech News stream. Have a good night. Have a good day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Peace.